Hello everybody, Fernando here. Today I'm gonna show you how to buy your first luxury watch. Stick around. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell so you can get notifications on new videos. Today I'm gonna show you how to buy your first luxury watch, and I'm gonna go do that over Crown Caliber. So we're talking about pre-owned watches. Later on this video I'm going to talk about the new watches, how to get a new luxury watch, and I'm going to show you why your options are very limited. The searches that I'm going to be doing in this video you can also do on True Facets, or you can do on Bob's Watches or any other jewelry, but I think those three have the best prices and it's guaranteed to have authentic watches. And I'm just gonna go over with Crown Caliber because they have a larger selection. So, and I'm gonna split that video in three types. I'm gonna go over the best deal that you can make. I'm gonna go over mainly watches, so watches for men that really want to show off how manly they are, and I'm gonna go over the fanciest watch that you can have. Okay, so I'm here in Crown Caliber. What I'm gonna do is shop men's watches. Oh, just remember, before we do this, just remember, nobody needs a luxury watch. But if you want to gift your brother, husband, boyfriend, father with a luxury watch, or if you want to buy a jewelry for yourself, it's okay to get a watch for you. It's not a problem, but just remember, nobody needs one, and you're very okay with any watch. If you have an Apple Watch, you have a super sophisticated watch on your wrist. Those watches, although they tell time, they're not to tell time. They're more like a jewelry and a status symbol. But just remember that you don't actually need it. But if you want to go with it, and if you want to get your family member, yourself, a jewelry like this, a watch like that, I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna explain that to you. So let's go first with the mainly watches. So what I'm gonna do here is I clicked on shop men's watches, and I'm gonna select a few brands that are very manly. So I'm gonna go over Rolex, Omega. Then I'm gonna jump to more brands here. I'm gonna get Panerai. Then I'm gonna spend here, and let me see what else, what other brands I can use for like people that really want to go really manly. I'm gonna click on IWC, International Watch Company, and I'm gonna stick with those for now for like super manly watches. I'm not gonna do Breitling because I think they're more sophisticated watches that are gonna be better for you. Okay, and I'm not gonna do Bell and Ross, although you can find mainly watches on Breitling and Bell and Boss. I think we can go a little bit higher than this. Okay, so let me try to get the cases. I'm gonna do cases from 40 to 41, 42, and also I'm gonna do 44, and I'm gonna go bigger on 45, 46, 47 even. All right, so material, I'm gonna keep with the case material. I'm gonna keep with stainless steel because you can get a lot of really cool watches with stainless steel. Don't think it has to be like a gold watch. A lot of people that have money to buy a gold Rolex, they end up wearing stainless steel Rolexes. So don't be ashamed by that. You want to go automatic or manual. In this case, I'm gonna go with automatic because they're mainly watches and you want it to work all the time. You do not want to go with quartz because they don't have a lot of value. And if you're giving this watch to someone, or if you want to be more sure about the orange of the watch, I would also click on has box and has papers. All right, because this way it has less chance that the watch is stolen, And if you're gonna give it to someone, it's kind of, they're gonna know it's original. And if they want to resell it later, it's gonna have more value and more warranty. If you it comes with the box and the paper, especially the papers. Okay, so and now that I've made the filter, I'm gonna go sort by price low to high, and we're gonna go over our options. Okay, so what you see here, first of all, are the Omegas. The Omegas are very nice watches. You know, it's the James Bond watches. Prince Charles also uses Seamaster that his mother gave it to him. Any of these Omega watches, they're gonna do fine. And why are we seeing the Omega watches on the used watches? Because if you buy it new, you're gonna lose a lot of money with these watches, unless you really strike one that becomes like a classic. But it's rare to see that. So Omega are very good watches to buy used ones. Okay, and then you're gonna see the IWCs. Those are very nice too. More Omegas, IWC. So you can see below $3,000 you can get a cool Omega and a cool IWC that's very manly. So it's all of those are very good options. I try to stick with the classic watches. So between this one and this one, I would choose this one. It's more classic. This one, you know, watches that have a lot to show, they are usually they're not very well seen. They're confused with other brands. So you want to go with the classic designs when you're choosing a watch. So that's why the classic pointers that everybody's used to. So I would go always with the classic watch instead of going with a lot of dials. But this is personal, so you have to find what is more available here. So let me go to the second page. On the second page, you're gonna see more IWCs and Omegas. So we keep rolling those two. And again, you're gonna see really nice options here. And all the stores that I'm showing you, they do a good job showing you, delivering high quality watches that are original. You got the first Panerai here, but it has a pink bracelet, so I'm gonna ignore that. And let's go to page 3. Page 3, we still see a lot of Omegas and IWC, so those were very nice, mainly options that you can for sure get it. Now we got to the Panerai. So the Panerais, they start around 4,300, and you see they're very mainly. This one is rubber, so leather straps. So remember, leather doesn't go in water. So if you want to watch that, you can go to the beach and go to the pool. It has to be a stainless steel bracelets or rubber bracelets. So you would be looking at those three here. This one, again, it's a very nice watch, very manly, but it's leather. So be careful with that. But those are very excellent watches to get. And again, Panerai doesn't hold a lot of value. So in IWC either. So that's why we're talking about used watches. When it comes to, then you're gonna get a better deal when you get a used watch, a pre-owned watch from them. If you want to sell a watch, if you think you're gonna be stuck with a watch and you're gonna sell it later, then you most likely don't want to go with the IWC because it's harder to sell. Less people want this watch. You want to go with the classic Omegas or the classic Panerais. Those are usually faster to sell. But again, if you're talking about reselling watches, the best one would be definitely the Rolex because it holds so much value. So let's keep going. All those are very good choices. Although IWC, it's my last choice between the Panerai and the Omega. So I would definitely be between the Omega and the Panerai. I would go with the Panerai because it's fancier. So if you want a really manly watch, remember those are big watches, the Panerais, and they're very, very fancy. So you should definitely consider those watches. Let's keep scrolling a little more. I want to get to the Rolexes. I want to see the first Rolexes here. So still a lot of Panerais and WC. and then still a lot of them, some Omegas, newer Omegas here, and no signs of Rolex so far. Skip rolling. Okay, the first Rolex here. So this is the Air King. I kind of like this watch. This is the new Air King, so I don't like the old Air Kings, but this one I think it's very cool. This is a classical uh, um, Rolex watch. It's sporty because it's supposed to be an aviator type. It's a good starting point on a Rolex shoe, but if you can go a little bit above that price, I would definitely try to go for the Explorer 2. So this is the sports watch, starting sports watch that I think it's cool. It's a big watch, 41 millimeters, I think, 40 or 41. It has the classic Rolex dial instead of this dial here, and it looks so cool. And I think this is one of the best choices. It comes in white dial and black dial, so you can get one of those. But you see, the prices are getting more expensive because of Rolexes. And then you start seeing Old Sea Dweller, which is an excellent choice. The divers watches from Rolex, they're usually very excellent choices. They're classicals. They're very, very good. They hold values. They sell fast. Those are really, really good watches. This is the Sea Dweller. It's supposed to be even stronger than the classic Submariner from Rolex. Let me go to a Submariner. There you go. You find the first Submariner here for 7,700. See, the prices are getting, yeah, they're going away for who wants to start buying their first luxury watch, but these ones are the best ones, and this is why every price below then it gets sold immediately because uh, people will get a Rolex, one of those classic Rolex for $7,000, $6,000 easily. And then you see a Milgauss here. Milgauss has an electromagnetic field, so it's not super sporty, but it's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's not one of the most popular Rolex watches, but in this range that we're talking about, you're gonna see a lot of Submariners. So those are the best ones for sure. Those are the most popular ones. You see the Explorers too, and you see the Air Kings. The new models are cool, are very nice, and you can start with those as well. So these are my options for mainly watches. So if you're like the tough guy that do a lot of parts, a big guy, you want to go with one of those. Now, if you want to go with like the best deal, then let me go back to page one because I'm gonna do the best deals really quick. Oh, by the way, those are Yachtmaster. Those are nice too. Let me go to the first page. If you want to get a very good watch, like best deal, let me just start all over again. So let me go to the home page, shop, man, and let me start all over again. So the best deal would not be Rolex. So let me try Omega. I'm gonna skip Tag. I'm gonna skip Breitling. I'm gonna go for Panerai. Patek Philippe is too expensive, so it's not gonna be under the best deals. Asolane is gonna be too expensive. Audemars, Baume is not considered top notch. Belle Rose not considered top notch. Blackpain, Brigade, those are gonna be very expensive. Breitling, not top notch. Bremont, not top notch, but good deals. You can find good deals here. Bulgari, I think they're charming, but they're not considered top notch. Cartier, not considered top notch. Chopard, Chrono Swiss, those are like watches that you don't want to touch because if you get stuck on this watch, it's gonna be really hard to sell. Frank Muller is gonna be a little bit expensive. This one also is gonna be very hard to sell. Glazluch, very good. You should, but it's gonna be expensive. Graham is not gonna be able to sell. I don't know what Heuer is. Hublot, it's a good watch that you should consider. I'm also gonna put IWC again. Not gonna skip all of those. I'm gonna skip Montblanc, doesn't have a history. I'm gonna get Omega. Oris is a nice watch, but it's not first class, so I'm gonna skip that. Porsche Design is not first class. Rolex is gonna be kind of expensive. It's not gonna be under the best deals. Tag is not top class. Tudor is a nice start for a watch because it's the same brand. Tudor belongs to Rolex, so they are the same watch basically. But Tudor doesn't have a lot of it's not really a top-notch luxury brand because Rolex always stands above it. So I'm gonna skip this one. Zenith, I'm gonna skip those ones too. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go for man automatic. So you want to make sure you're getting an automatic watch. You can get manual too, but yeah, I'm gonna click on manual as well because manual is also considered very, very chic and very fancy. Now I want to click on man. Where's man? I want to go here and click on man. I don't see the option to click on man. I think I'm already on man. That's why. That's why. Okay, so now let me go price low to high. And of course, by now you should be like, some of you may be thinking that I'm making the wrong choices and I should consider more watches. But this is my experience with watches, so I'm gonna keep doing it. And if you didn't like it, you could please comment and I can do more watches for you later. It'll be my pleasure. So again, when you see looking for the best option, you're gonna see the Omegas are at the top. So you see that to start with a luxury watch, I would definitely start with the Omega. You see IWC here. So I think the first watch that you would want as a luxury one, it would be the Omega. And again, I would go with the classic. This is the Speedmaster. These are really cool. Although it has a lot of dials, these are considered very classic from Omega. And also the Seamaster. I don't see any Seamaster here, but they should pop up very soon. You have the first Seamaster here, but I think this is small. This one looks a little bit bigger. So I would go with the Speedmaster and the Seamaster. I would not get this one, but I would get this one just because it's considered more. Those are considered more classic. So I'm trying to get you a classic one that's gonna be recognized by far. So this one, it's the Seamaster, looks very manly, and it's supposed to be a very good deal. Now this one has a lot of colors. I'm not sure about this. This one is a classic Seamaster. It has box and papers. So I would say the best one for you to get if you're going like with the lowest luxury watch would be the Omega Seamaster and Speedmaster. And just make sure you click on has manual, has papers, and has box. If you're getting this as a gift to someone, so you can get a very good deal that has everything. And then if they don't like it, if they want to sell later, they have all the papers that it's gonna value more. So it would be this one, $3,000 Seamaster. It would be like the perfect choice with box and papers and manual and everything. This one is also a very good option. So I would take one of this one. This one has leather, but it looks newer. I think it's one of the newest models. So it looks bigger, it looks tougher. So it would be a very good choice. Now that I did the mainly watches and the best choices, the cheapest, the best cost benefits, I'm gonna go over the fancy ones, the fanciest ones that you can get. So I'm gonna go shop men's watches, and now we're gonna go talk about big brands. So Rolex, what you can find here, like to really get the most fancy watch you can find. So I'm gonna get Patek Philippe, A. Lange & Söhne, Audemars Piguet. Let me see more. I want to get Frank Muller. I'm gonna skip Hublot, Jaeger-LeCoultre. Let's make this one. And Ulysse Nardin. Let's skip it. Vacheron Constantin. So now we're talking. I'm gonna skip Piaget and Panerai. Now we're talking about watches that, like, if your father was a multimillionaire or if your father was a billionaire, these were the kind of watches that you would be thinking about getting him, because he probably by now he would have a collection of Rolexes. So you would be thinking about giving him another brand. I'm also gonna mark Blancpain. Okay, now we are going to go with automatic and manual, because some of the Patek Philippe's are going to be manual. So I'm going to mark manual as well. And I'm going to put price low to high, and let's see what's up. So right on top, you're going to see the first one, Ulysse Nardin. This is a watch that's going to be hard to sell. It doesn't have papers, but it's a very good deal. Maybe that's why it's a good deal, because it's very hard to resell. So if you get it, you're gonna be stuck with it for life, but it's an amazing watch. Then you have an Air King. I show you the new Air Kings. These are the old Air Kings. I don't like them that much. I would not recommend the old Air Kings to start with a Rolex. Okay, then you have a classic Jaeger-LeCoultre. Very good, very fancy watch. Remember, every time you see a leather strap, that means suits. That means button shirt, black leather shoes, dark blonde leather shoes. So if you're not wearing those every day, those are not going to look super cool on you. Then you have a Franck Muller, amazing. Then you have a Datejust, classic, very good. Another Ulysse Nardin. Remember, every time you see Ulysse Nardin, remember you're gonna get stuck with this watch for life. Another Franck Muller. Really like the design of the Franck Muller. It looks like Richard Mille. So Richard Mille is very expensive. Classic Jaeger-LeCoultre. Another Ulysse Nardin, very manly. Then you go for another Datejust, Jaeger-LeCoultre, Ulysse Nardin, Rolex Datejust, classic. Blancpain, the first Blancpain here, 4,400. Franck Muller, totally different. I would not get this one because not a classic Franck Muller. Ulysse Nardin again. And then let me just keep scrolling so I can see the first Patek Philippe. So we're already at $5,000. And you look at this. This is a very classic watch because it has a gold case, leather strap, and it's one of the top brands. So it's really, really cool. Jaeger-LeCoultre, too crazy. I would not get this watch. Very classic Explorer, perfect choice. Not one of my favorites, but it's a good one. Not one of my favorites. Between the Explorer and the Datejust, I would do the Datejust. Let's keep scrolling. Those are small watches, by the way. Those Rolex are all 36 millimeters, 34, so they're not very big. So it's more classical, but they're not bad. Okay, let's go. I want to go all the way till I get to a Patek Philippe. Now, take a look. Rolex Date, golden case. This is a very good classical watch to go with a tuxedo, and this is a very classic watch. This is one I would be tempted to get this watch. Okay, so let's see what we got. Crazy Jaeger-LeCoultre, never get one of those. They don't look like a fancy watch. Then you have the first Air King, the new model. It's cool. Explorer, new model, looks cool. They chronograph looks cool. They're small though, but they're cool. Then still no signs of Patek Philippe. Let's keep rolling. Then you start seeing those manly Rolex that I talked about. Very good choices. Once you get to the points to those manly watches, the Rolex manly watches, there's no point to looking at any other one. If you got to this price point and you can afford this, go get it. You don't have to think about it. Okay, I got the first Patek Philippe. It's a $7,648. So this is the top notch. This is the classical. This is the most fanciest one that you can get would be this one right there. It's a Patek Philippe, so it's a whole other game. And I still see nothing that attracts my eyes from now. Let me see. Another of the first Vacheron Constantin, $8,100. Again, classic. Amazing watch. It's a Vacheron Constantin. It's like a whole new game. Okay, let me see what else I got here that interested me. All of those, like I said, all of those are excellent choices. The Explorer 2, the Submariner, they're amazing choices. The Datejust 2, if they're big, I don't like them as much. I would rather get the sports ones. You see, those are sports. The Yachtmaster, Submariner, the Explorer, those are sport watches. The Datejust is not a sport watch. It's more like it's not a sport watch. So the sport watches on Rolex, they have way more value. Okay, what else do I have? Another Vacheron Constantin, but it's a crazy model. Would not get this one. Jaeger-LeCoultre. Let me see what else I have. We have the first Céline. Céline is the classical Rolex that competes with the Patek Philippe, but Patek Philippe is considered higher status. Okay, none of those watches I would get. Too many colors, too many confusion. People don't know what we're wearing, and it's gonna be hard to sell. So those are terrible choices. Okay, you have another Patek Philippe, $10,000. You see, Patek Philippe's are more expensive, but this is a watch very tiny, very little. It's probably manual, not even automatic, but it is the watch. It's gonna be valuable, and it's a watch that it's a whole other game. Then you have a classic Jaeger-LeCoultre, looking like a Patek Philippe as well, like the Calatrava. Very nice, ultra thin, probably manual as well. It is an excellent choice, especially with the gold case, leather strap. It's like one of the fanciest watch you can get. Another one, Jaeger-LeCoultre, very, very minimalistic. Another one with the stars here is perfect. Relax one. This is a small watch. Well, let me wrap this video. Let me just go for the next Patek and then we stop. So we have the first Audemars Piguet, which looks like a good buy. It's kind of classic. I think it could be a good choice. Remember, the prices are getting higher and higher. Now you see the Patek Philippe here, 13,000. This is one of the watches that you're gonna marry and marry the watch, pass your children, and every time you have a gala event, you're gonna look super cool with this watch. So now these are the Blancpains. The classic look a little bit like the Patek Philippe. So those are very nice as well. You're gonna look super nice with one of those watches because it's another game. Then you have another Patek Gondolo. Now the prices are getting higher and higher. And you have the first 8 Lange & Söhne. Those are German watches, but considered a super higher brand as well. And we got the first one at 14,000. Okay, so now we got the Calatrava, and I'm gonna stop the video now. So the Calatrava is a classic between watches. If you are a watch aficionado, you're gonna eventually hit this stage where you wanna get a Calatrava. Those Calatravas are old Calatravas. They're very, very small, but like I said, for a gala event, or if you are more formal guy, these are the watches that you would like to put on your wrist because they are one of the top of the game. And these are the watches that the billionaire kids give to their fathers. So those are very good options. Those are the new GMT Masters from Rolex. Those with the new bracelet, those are very popular right now, and it's an excellent choice. But you see, the starting point is a little bit higher than we expected. But all of those, remember, just between those 6 Rolexes here, you would not choose this one. because Rolexes with gold are not as popular. I mean, it's not as considered as fancy as the one with just stainless steel. So it would be with the Sea Dweller Deep Sea. That's a big watch, very manly watch, 40 millimeters. You want to go with the GMT Masters, all stainless steels, all the Submariner anniversary edition with the green bezel here. Those are really fancy, considered really fancy. So among those six, you actually would not be better with the one with gold. You would be better with the one with stainless steel. Okay guys, so this is the video about watches. Now let me just talk really quick about buying a new watch. If you buy a new watch, just remember I told you the watches that lose value and the watches that keep value. Rolex is one that keeps the value. Patek Philippe is another one that keeps value, especially if you wait for a long time. You're gonna make money with the watch. But if you're buying a new watch, there's not much. If you're starting a luxury, it's your first time buying a luxury watch, you don't have a lot to see. All you have to do is go to the Rolex store, because every other brand, it's gonna cost you too much money, or you're gonna lose money if you try to sell later. So if you see the Rolex, the main Rolex with stainless steel, you would start with the Explorer, the new Air King, and then you probably would go with the Oyster Perpetual. This by prices. So you'll be looking like, here's the first, the cheapest one, this one and this one. The Submariner would be the I think would be the best choice, especially the one with dates. And then you have the classics, but they're not really sport watches, so I would not go with those. Have the Explorer 2, very good choice. You have the Deep Sea, but it's gonna cost you a lot more. So you would be around, those three would be the cheapest, those the Oyster, Explorer, the Air King. But if you want to go a step ahead and just get it right, it would be the Submariner, or it would be the Explorer 2. So those would be the options. And the Submariner with dates as well would be a very good options. So that's it guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, just comment below, I'll make a video for you. I'm sorry if I offended any brands, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can get more videos on my channel. See you guys, bye bye. Hey everybody, thank you for watching this video to the end. Again, I apologize if I offended your favorite brands. Those are very good watches. Again, nobody needs a luxury watch. There were some watches that I really left behind, but I may own it, so don't get offended, because some of the watches that I left behind, I may have it and I may wear it. So don't be offended if I didn't consider your favorite watch brands. I hope you liked this video, and if you want me to make a video especially for you, just comment below and I'll be happy to do that. Thank you so much. See you guys in the next one.